Hello, ho, ho, ha, Audleyites. I'm back with a new video. I'm here to give my personal Halo 5 Christmas wish list. And, gonna start this off. Got, Master Chief sitting on the treetop there, sniping, like Master Chiefs are wont to do. But, first off, pretty obvious, I'd like to see Forge mode. I know we're getting it soon, but I'm impatient. I want it now. I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. To me, Forge is 20 times, 30 times, 50 times better than Legos, Connects ever could dream of being. And I love challenging myself to design new maps, improve the design of existing maps. Like in Halo Reach, I made my own version of Citadel with a lot of its design problems solved. And in the case of H2A, designed a map that proves certain game types can work, cough, ricochet, cough, with the proper approach to design, where that game type wasn't really made for open maps, but if you make a cramped, lane-focused map, it can work. And I just really want Forge mode. I love playing around with all the pieces and making my own maps, but I don't really have the patience for things like Maya or Unreal Engine presently. But Forge mode kind of bridges that gap between true level design and just like throwing pieces together to make a map. And to me, that's really fun. And I love challenging myself with that. So that's number one on my Christmas list. Number two, and I think this one's pretty much universally agreed upon by competitive Halo players, nerf the autos, please. We got the Storm Rifle and the SMG. They're just dominating competitive play. And while a lot of people may want them removed, I like them. I've always kind of been the kind of guy to use automatics because to me they're like a slower killing shotgun. They have more counterplay than a shotgun does, but they still give you that same like reward for positioning yourself well, even if you can't really shoot. Like me, I can't aim. I can't get kills when I have to use a headshot weapon, so I like having autos. They're a crutch for players like me. Um, But as far as how to nerf them, like the Storm Rifle, it kills way too fast. Like it melts shields, but it also melts health, which isn't really standard for Covenant weaponry. So I'd like to see its health damage toned down a little bit. I'd like to see its projectile speed slowed down. So like when you're fighting from farther away, the player you're shooting at has more time to react. But just keep it to where it's that kind of gun punch focused weapon, like plasma weapons have tended to be in the past. I don't really want to go the route of copying the Combat Evolved plasma rifle where you just like stun the hell out of a player so you can't react. The SMG, it's probably too strong just at range compared to what it should be. Uh, but I don't really know how I would approach nerfing it personally. The definitely needs a nerf, damage nerf, probably the best way. Just like increase its rate of fire even further, but nerf its damage. So you just like bullet hose your way to victory. With the AR, I would actually reduce its rate of fire overall, but like increase its rate of fire for the first bullet. So like players who tap the trigger can get more shots out faster, and it gets rewarded for that more skillful tap shooting that the AR is actually good at. Because a lot of people don't realize the AR has perfect tap accuracy in this game. So if you're just tapping the trigger, your shot's going to hit every time as long as you're like aimed at the player. But when you start holding it down, you start getting bloom and randomness, and that throws it off. So if you nerfed the second and third and fourth and fifth shot rate of fire, but kept the first like startup frame faster, it would encourage players to use that more often and encourage them to use the weapon in a more skillful manner than it already is being used. So that would be my approach to nerfing the AR. Now we move on to the third item on the Christmas list, and I'm pretty sure this is on everyone watching this video's list. Change or remove the motion tracker. Like, as it is, it encourages way too much crouching, and I actually wrote a blog earlier today about ambiguous revelation in Halo and League of Legends. Like, League of Legends has the invisible sight wards that can reveal players, and they don't know they're seen. And the motion tracker in Halo is similar. Like, if a player's crouching around the corner, and you don't know he's there, and you run by and you're not crouching, well, he knows where you are, and you don't know that he knows where you are, which that leads you to instead avoid making that play, and instead you crouch walk up as well. So it encourages everyone to just play it safe and cautious, and that's not fun to watch. It's not fun to play. It's more fun to just be encouraged to be active. So, like, even if we had a real radar where it showed people standing still, that would be better for competitive play. I mean, it's still too casual for my taste, but like anything we could do to change the motion tracker in order to make it not a motion tracker only would be great for competitive play, for competitive players, and finding a way to reconcile that versus casual play would really, really make my Christmas fantastic. For number 4, this one's important for people like me who spend a lot of time watching and reviewing gameplay. I need a file share. The only way I've been able to watch pro games as it is with the spectator mode, which spectator mode improvements are also on my Christmas list, but they're not going to be in this video, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But all I have is spectator mode for watching pro gameplay, other than my own, but I'm not a pro, so I don't really want to show you guys my gameplay unless I'm showing you how not to play, which I stream, and my stream title is literally how to compensate for sucking, because I suck at Halo. If you're listening to my videos and learning from them, it's not me being good at playing Halo, it's me being good at understanding how things work. But back on topic, I really need a file share, so pros or even players that would request me to watch their game film, I would be able to do that without having to add them as a friend, spectate them when they're in a game, pick the specific game I want, and just it's so time consuming and hit or miss in terms of whether or not the game I'm going to be watching for is any good. And so I really hope the file share we're getting with Forge mode includes videos. All we've been confirmed so far is that we'll be able to share maps. So I really hope we get a video file share with the bookmarking and whatnot. And on to number 5. More game types. Please, more game types. I like strongholds. I feel it's kind of solved already. I've mentioned how much I hate rigged strongholds. I really like Eden strongholds. It's very rotational. I don't think it's a game that'll play the same way 2 times in a row. I really like Plaza strongholds, but it's not as deep as Eden, and it's more deep than Rig, but less deep than Eden, so it's kind of in the middle. But what I would really like is some King of the Hill. It's always been my favorite first-person shooter game type. I think it's the most skillful because, unlike Oddball as a timed game type, you don't have to put one of your players out of the game while you're getting time. It's just people know exactly where he is. So I really like how that plays. As far as shooters breaking the mold with game types, we haven't seen that much at all lately, except with Splatoon on the Wii U. Splatoon's game types won't really transition into Halo, but Turf War, fantastic example of how to innovate with game types. And just showed that game types can you can push the envelope, and it can work. Players will love it. Splatoon is so popular, it blew up. Granted, it's a Nintendo game, so it's got the Nintendo audience, the kids. But Nintendo's even got a burgeoning young competitive scene going on with Splatoon. So it shows that breaking the mold, pushing the envelope, it can work. Halo's tried it in the past, and players have been resistant to change. It's taken until Halo 5 for people to finally accept a 3-plots game type. We've had it since Halo 2, and people have just hated it. But it's always been one of my favorite game types. Any control-based game type where you have to control certain points of the map and get time, and unlike Oddball where one of your players is not able to actually fight while he's getting that time, the area control game types are just so much better to me. I think Stockpile had potential. We just had awful maps in Halo Reach for it. stockpile on sword base is not a great idea. Imagine stockpile on Empire or Regret. Like, granted, the random flag spawning locations made it come into some problems, but you could transition that or combine it with the idea of Headhunter, where you have different areas on the map you can take it for, and if you die carrying something, then it's gone or it can be taken by the. I'd really like to see a game type based off Powerball from American Gladiators, where you have different score points in the middle, and you're trying to get them into the score point without dying. But if you die or if you get hit, you lose it. That would be a interesting take on Breakout. I really liked VIP in Halo 3, but the incarnation we got was made by the same people who thought we needed a random weapon and completely unclear weapon timers in order to keep good players from being able to just defecate upon bad players. So VIP was set up in a way that just wasn't really made to be competitive. It was hide and hope you don't die. But if you designed it around competitive play, VIP could be a fantastic game type. It could be a breakout game type because VIP is actually based off the paintball variant Assassinate the President. Like, there are just so many different ways that this could be approached that just aren't being considered, and there's so many different like game types. Granted, some of these icons are like forge mode and stuff, but Halo has really like tried different things and they just haven't stuck because players are resistant to change. And I'd like to see like 343 try to push that envelope some more. Speed flag, where players were super fast, would work so well in Halo 5, where if you could sprint carrying the flag and just had to go get neutral flags all the time, there'd be such a huge fight over everything. Like, imagine the neutral breakout flag. Not ending a round or a game, but like you capture it back at your base or at the enemy's base, and you just keep going, man. And it's just like non-stop. It would be so fast, so exciting. And we just don't get to see anything crazy exciting like that. With that, that's going to close out my video. That's my 5 main items on my Christmas wish list. If you have any that you want to see, post them in the comments section. Tweet them at me at Tiberius Audley. If you have any comments on the new slideshow layout I'm trying out, please post feedback. I'm trying to make my videos a little more interactive. My last few slideshows have been just like me reading the slides, and that's not entertaining. I got a lot of people telling me that wasn't fun to watch, and they felt like they just were hearing me read from a sheet of paper, and that was basically what it is. So I've tried this new layout with my face on the camera, so it feels more personal. Threw some pictures on there. Got Hank Hill. That's going to close out this video. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Hope we all get what we want from Halo for Christmas, but if not, just remember the game's growing. That prize pool's still growing as well. Pushing over $2 million now. But that's going to be it for this video, so aloha everybody.